Hey, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Shout out to my Instagram, YouTube, and my Facebook family. It's Chief Mariah, and I'm with
D'Angelo.
D'Angelo.
The Blind Man Restored, you know.
The Blind Man Restored. Follow him on Instagram. Look, right now, me and my brother, we were just having nothing but a good fellowship, giving each other some game. And one thing I just want to say is, the gist of the conversation was pretty much just know your self-worth. Sometimes we can get out here in this world, and it's a big world. We meet people who might present themselves to us as they know it all, have more, doing more. But we got to tell you, just know your self-worth, especially us as black men, because this channel is for black men specifically. But if you can get some game, and women, you can get some game if you're not a black man, whatever. But know your self-worth. The reason why you need to know your self-worth is because, once again, you're going to run into people on this planet Earth, and if you do not know who you are, where you're from, what you've been through, you can fall victim to a lot of illusions. When I say illusions, what I mean is a lot of false narratives that are being created about who you are, especially as black men. So Marcus Messiah Garvey has a great phrase. One of his greatest phrases is, without self-confidence, you are twice defeated in life. Meaning, you're already counted out as a black man. Everyone expects you pretty much just to be some, I don't want to say a bad guy, but like a nobody, and just a standard
of who you are.
They already think that. So if you think that about yourself on top of that, it's over. So know your self-worth, know who you are, and whatnot. Something you want to add, my brother D'Angelo? Just something for my people real quick.
Yeah, like I said, Blind Man Restored here. I would say, if anything, your self-worth, your self-identity is very important, because it's the foundation in which you're going to build upon.
Foundation.
So who you are, who you identify as, what you identify yourself with, all of these, your net worth, right? We talk about money all the time, but what's your real worth, right? You talk about your net worth all the time, but we know people got all this money, especially being here in 2026. We see people with all this money, but yet they got no real worth for real. The net worth that they have is literally worth nothing when you really put it in perspective on what it means to live. So I think, just off the back of that, self-worth and self-identity are your very foundation into how you move in your everyday life. So, self-identify and understand who you are. You know what I'm saying? If you got to go talk to your mom and dad, you might want to do that. But, you know what I'm saying? Self-worth is important, and because without it, you don't know who you are, right?
If I could ask you a question, what if somebody, what do you say to someone who has, let's say, a person or an environment that is trying to pull down their self-worth? What would you advise them to do? Like, say if, you know what I mean?
Right, so
if they're in a relationship, if they're at a job, they're where they feel like they're being,
you're going to have to change your environment, right? If you can't identify with what you're surrounding yourself with, that's not your identity.
Yeah.
Right? If you can't identify what's around you, if you can't relate to it, then what are you doing? You need to be doing something else, right? That whole saying, when I was a child, I did as a child. Now I'm a man, I put away childish things. Those types of realities.
All right. Y'all heard it from my brother.
Yeah. New patterns, man.
Restored. New patterns.
New patterns.
Get around new people. But to get around new people and get around good, better energy, you got to work on yourself, too, because people can tell when you're faking it. You know what I mean? You don't want to be around people acting like something that you're not. And it's going to take time. It's going to take work. But when you get around good people and they see that you're trying to be a better person, nobody's perfect at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
To get around a better environment, you got to become a better person. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And so,
become a better person.
Become a better person. It's that simple.
Become a better person.
Look,
don't act like you don't think about it. You know the things you need to do in order to be a better person, right?
Look, so
Do
when, so when I was like in this whole,
I gotta do it.
when I was in this whole stop drinking phase, I was talking to this lady. She was like, "Well, you can go here, you can go here, you get a therapist," and the doctor lady was like, "Just stop. Like you don't have to go through all this counseling. Just do it, but just stop at some point. You ain't gotta. It's that simple.
Grab your hand.
If you want better, do
Don't
better.
do it.
It's not really that kind of like, if you want better, do better. You know better, it's all in this. I don't care how gangster, how thug you are. Once again, it's for black men. I don't care. You know better. I know a lot of crazy guys. You know better.
Right.
But anyway, y'all know the slogan, chase knowledge, don't chase money. Peace, love, positivity.
Peace and love.
Yeah.